Tell me, and I may forget. Teach me, and I may remember. Involve me, and I may learn. Great words from the great man, Mr. Benjamin Franklin, the first American philosopher, an educator, an inventor, an innovator, and a scientist. With his ideas of the morally virtuous citizenry, being able to be better at self-governing and to govern oneself, we learn that he wanted us all to be free, which is another huge ideal of his. The freedom of mankind, the freedom of the citizenry, the freedom to be able to speak against your government and to speak out in education. And he had his newspaper as well as the Poor Richard's Almanac, which brought learning and reading to the average man. He also advocated for the well-rounded education. He spoke of English first, as it was the nation's trade language, and history and sciences and mathematics and chronology, to bring about a more well-rounded, educated person. With his contributions as a theoretical scientist, he wrote many things on many different scientific and philosophical points, where he actually wrote his theory that static electricity and lightning were both in fact the same thing, and that lightning was electricity. So in his famous or infamous key and kite experiment, he went out and flew a kite in a thunderstorm, and he started to see the fibers of the string repel. You could see the electricity and the static electricity in it. And as he moved his hand up to the key, he saw a spark, proving his hypothesis. So he is one of our greatest and original American theoretical scientists. He went on to be the founder of what became the University of Philadelphia, and the first free lending library in America in Philadelphia, because he believed that every person should have access to education. Every man and woman and the citizenry should have access to the great knowledge. And in his third contribution, which actually didn't get seen till after the Civil War, he spoke of educating the blacks and the women and adult education. He spoke on the fact that if women and men were educated together, men would be a lot more humble and women wouldn't be as taken advantage of. And he spoke of the young slaves that were in a black school, that if we could teach them to learn and teach them to read and give them an education, then they would no longer be slaves. He believed that slavery of all of us was due to ineducation, the inability to be educated, whether through ourselves or through the not having access to that education. And with his adult education rationale, he said, I want to bring the liberals and the conservatives together to the table, which became the American Philosophical Association. He believed that every person should learn for life, should always be learning. And I agree. As an environmental scientist, and as a teacher, I believe that we all learn and keep learning, and we must learn from each other. And we constantly must search for that knowledge. Thank you. I'm Kristopher St. Pierre, And this has been my lecture on Benjamin Franklin. Thank you.